Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope everyone finds me. I know that I switched it on you guys at the last minute and decided to go YouTube versus Facebook, but I hope that you'll find me and that you'll be able to see what we're doing tonight. So we are going to use the new release. This is Magical Birthday. And we are going to use Fantasy Realms. Hi, Tammy. Hello. Welcome. So glad you found me. So we're going to use these two tonight. We're going to use the unicorn. We're going to start with unicorn. Don't worry, we'll get through all the new ones over the next couple of weeks. But tonight we're going to do the little unicorn. I've already cut him out, so we'll have him for our project. But tonight we're going to make a mini gift bag. So I'm going to show you how to make that with 12 by 12 paper, super fast, quick and easy. So I will give you all the measurements and the whole tutorial for it. And I will also color the unicorn. So you'll be able to see that. And tonight I'm going to use Copic, but I won't always be using Copics. So just so you know, I'm using them tonight, but I won't always be using them. I'm also going to use this paper pad. I chose to use this, the back side of the first sheet. So that sheet looks like this. This is the front side. And this is the back side. And I chose to use the back side for this project. And then I chose some of the ephemera to decorate the rest of the bag. So I have some of the balloons. I colored this present earlier and had it left over. So we're going to use that. This came from ephemera and the sentiment came from ephemera. And this is from the stamp set. We're also going to use some embellishments from in the shop. There's we're either going to use pink or blue. I haven't decided which one yet, but we are going to use those from our shop. This is my bling tray. In case you haven't seen it, it locks so you can stack them up. You can stack 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or however many you want. You can shake it up and they all stay where they're supposed to be. So I love that. So we're going to use that just in case you guys were going to ask me what that was. We're also going to use our soda press tool for any burnishing and stuff like that. We also will use I will use my bone folder from Trinity Stamps because I love it. And then let's get started. We have Tammy and Evelyn. Yay! Welcome. And several other people who haven't said hi but are watching in the background, which is totally cool. You choose you. Okay, I've already cut the papers, but we'll go over the details on how to do that and how to put that together here in a little while. So I'm going to move that out of my way. I'm going to fix my camera because it's slightly crooked. And we are going to color this adorable unicorn. So I'm going to zoom in because I want you to really be able to see what we're doing. Isn't this unicorn the cutest unicorn ever? Okay, so tonight, based on the paper that I chose, we have a lot of options here. We have pink, we have purple, we have yellow, light blue, dark blue, tons of colors. So what I have chosen is to pull out a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of the pink, a little bit of the purple, and then the light blue. So those are the colors we're going to use. And let's get started. Why wait? Let's get started. Yay! Okay, so somebody said hi, Timothy. So hi, Timothy. Okay, I'm going to start off with the unicorn horn and the hooves. And I'm going to do that in a yellow type color, almost like a gold color. And I think because I'm going to do my little unicorn in pink, I think I'm going to do the inside of the ears in the yellow color as well. So, hey, Beth. Okay, so we're going to start off with Y26. It's mustard, it's a dark color, it's going to be our shadow color for our unicorn. I'm going to assume the light is coming from this direction, so anything on the back side is going to be darker, and then anything overlapping is going to be darker as well. Hey, Beth. And then I'm going to start off with the back side of the unicorn horn. So a little bit here, the underside here, and right along the back. I'm going to do that on all of them. It's so hard to choose what color, how to color, because I kind of want to do like rainbow, and then I want to do gold, and then I want to do yellow, and I just can't decide. So tonight this is what it'll be, but I'm sure you'll see this adorable image again in the future. So I'm doing the back side of the inside of the ears because we're going to make those yellow as well. And then I'm going to do the underside of the hooves and just this inside piece right here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Kind of come from this angle because this is the back side. And then this little piece right here that's on top of the, like where the mouthpiece and stuff is for this, I'm going to go ahead and do all in this solid color right there, that little design. And then I'm going to stop for now. I haven't decided what color we're going to do the hat yet, so we'll go over that when we get there. I'll figure it out as I'm coloring along because, I never know ahead of time. I just kind of play along as I go. Hey, Karen. Y15 is next. So this is going to bring more of the yellow into it. So I'm going to do the underside of the horn, so that whole bottom piece. And then I'm going to extend from here, doing the all the way across on the underside. So just extending a little and then the underside. A little bit hard. It's just very small area, but we want the backside of the unicorn horn to be darker. And then I'm going to extend here and here. And then same thing with these. I'm going to go right where I originally put the color and extend. This will keep a really soft golden yellowish color. And then I'm going to do just directly under his hoof one small line right there. So hard to see, but just one small line. Hey, Cheryl. So we have Karen and Cheryl popped in. Welcome, welcome. And then Y13 will be next. And I'll leave just a really small area after this color for the highlight, which will be right on the front of the unicorn horn. And then just a really small area left on the edge, none on this one because it's too small. And then probably most of the hooves will be colored in with this color. Probably won't add the Y11 to the hooves. And then I'll save that piece under there for the lightest color. So here we go. Hey, Danielle. Welcome, welcome. Y11 is next. And this time, so that I don't drag any of this dark color into the light area, I'm going to start from the edge of the unicorn horn and push back into that dark color. This just helps to keep the lightest color light on the edge. I will do it on these ears as well. That one, I didn't really leave any space, but I'm just going to touch it anyway. And then I'm going to do this underside that we talked about right here. But I'm not going to do anything with the hooves. I'm just going to leave them as they are. Oh, Danielle, you like this much better than Facebook. Yeah, me too. I feel like it's just, I got such great reception that I figured there was no reason to do it on Facebook tonight. Plus, I want to do a mini project, and I just want it. We're getting a lot more views on YouTube, so we decided to just do it from YouTube. Now, I'm going to save the hair for after because I want the mane to be brown, but I want the unicorn to be pink. So the color is going to be a very light pastel pink, kind of. And so I don't want to drag any of the brown into the pink. So we're going to start with the pink on the unicorn first. So here we go. Excuse me. Might need to grab a drink real quick because I'm talking a lot. YouTube is definitely better. Not sure how to say hi to each one of you. I'm new to YouTube. Sorry, ladies. No worries at all. You can put the little @ sign in their name if you want, or you can just type their name, or you can just say hi. Everybody knows you're saying hi. I'm going to start with RV25. Let's see if we can get that to focus in a little better. Let me turn my lighting just a little bit off of it, and maybe you'll be able to see it a little better. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it is RV25. Let me see. I bet I could dim this down just a little bit. There we go. All right, now we can see the numbers. That is better. Although we do have a bit of a color change there. So there we go. Back to the blue. Okay, there we go. RV25. Okay, so I'm going to start with underneath the hairline up here at the top. This is a really bright color, so I probably won't have a lot. This is just to show the shadow. So I'm going to go underneath each piece of hair that's laying over his forehead. And then I'm going to build just a little bit of a line right here where the ear touches the face and down the side of the hair. I also want to get a little bit into the ear. So I'm going to put a really fine line right across this side and then along the outside right here. So I'm going to do that on both sides. So just along that and then along the back side. This will just get us a little bit of that depth in the ears. And then I'm going to go on this side where the hair's overlapping the cheek, and I'm going to just extend right there. The hair is laying over the shoulder, so I'm just going to kind of build in a line for the shoulder right up against the little horn underneath the face. This line right here indicates that that's the inside of the box, so we don't want to color that pink. And then this is his arm. That's the box, don't forget. And then right along here, along the hoof, we're going to put a little bit of the darkest color there. And then same thing on this side, just a small smidge there and underneath the horn. So a lot of this underside has a lot of pink. The rest is just kind of around the outside. On the next color, I'll do a little over the nose to give it a little dimension, but not with the darkest color. All right, here we go. Next color, RV23. So with RV23, I'm going to extend just a little bit from where I put that last color. These are very small areas, so use the tip of your marker. I normally hold my marker upright, but I can't do that right now because then you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So I have to hold this side of my marker. I'm going to just extend down from where I put that original first color. And here as well. This is going to keep our unicorn in a very light pale pink color, which I think will match the paper pad very, very nicely. So we're going to extend out here just a little bit. We're going to start going around his face. Because he's pink, he doesn't really need any pink on his cheeks because he's already pink. Danielle said, buttered popcorn with cinnamon and sugar with Sandy on the big screen. What a night. What a night. On this side, I'm going to extend here, kind of starting to build in that around the outside look. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put just a little bit where the nose is, just to kind of start building in a little bit of shadow on the nose. And Beth says, okay, are you going to share? Okay, we're going to extend out from where we put it on the little hands. We're going to start filling in this area right here. We're really only using 3 colors, so I think I'm going to go back up and add a little bit more to his face. I thought we had 4 colors, but I forgot the R11 I pulled just for the tongue. So I'm going to finish this one, and then I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to extend under the eyes a little bit, kind of soften that. Same thing on this side, just kind of building in that cheek a little bit. I'm going to go under here and under his chin. And then I think that gets me where I want to be for the next color. Good evening, Tamara. Welcome, welcome. Now we have RV21. That's our next color, RV21. And I'm going to finish the ears, just kind of blend those colors together to soften them up a little bit. And normally I want to tone down that yellow in the ears. So I'm going to really lightly touch a pale coat of this lightest pink color. It just kind of makes the inside of the ears look a little different than the hooves. I'm going to extend down from the last color that I put on here. We're also going to want to watch those lines that you can get between the darker color and the lighter color. So if we end up with lines, we have to work those out so that you can't see them. Going around this eye as well, extending. It's kind of looking pretty good. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of lines. So I think we're doing pretty good right now. Just going to work this around his face, up from his chin. And then we're going to fill in the nose as well. And then we're going to finish the hands and the little body right there. And now we have this really adorable light colored pink unicorn. I'm going to fix this line area right here. So I felt like that wasn't real smooth and I wanted that to be a little bit smoother. It looks like, so if you see this, we're just going to add some more ink in there because it started to wash that spot out and I didn't want that to happen. But I think that right there looks pretty good. So I am going to leave that right where it is. Okay, so that is much better. Let me see if I can hold it up so you can really see it in focus. See, it's a little bit darker closer up than it is when it's laying on the table, but I like it. It's cute. So I'm going to take that R11 that I told you I had pulled out, and I'm just going to color in the tongue. It's still pink, but a different shade of pink, so it makes it look just a little bit better. All right, I'm going to work on the hair next, I think, and I've chosen 3 colors again. I'm trying to stick with 3 colors, so I have 3 pink, 3 blue, 3 purple, 3 brown, just so that I can stay within that 3 color choice. So if you're using another brand of markers, you need a dark, a medium, and a light. So then you can still follow with whatever you want to do. Was here, but fighting a migraine today. Barbara, you and me both. I finally feel a little better, but I was in bad shape this morning. Mad because I didn't get mine today. Oh, Tammy, it didn't arrive yet today. I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better, Barbara. Okay, E49 is an extremely dark brown color, but it is what's going to give us the difference between the dark and the light. So I'm going to start with this E49 coming from under the hat. And I'm just going to do a few brush strokes into the hair. I don't need a whole bunch of them, but I definitely want to be able to see it. And then I'm going to carry a couple of those forward here, just so we can connect the two together. This one I'll do from this end, opposite end. This one as well. Just so we get some on the underside, some from each direction. It'll help really build the hair, being that we only have 3 colors. 2 days in a row, migraines are killing me. Yeah, I didn't have them 2 days in a row just today, but I still feel it sitting there. It's just not as bad as this morning. But this morning, I didn't think I was going to make it for the day. All right, now I'm going to go down the side of the face and just brush stroke out a little bit. And then I'm going to come in here and fill out this part right by his hand completely, because that would be in the dark, all the way in the dark. Hi, Susie. Thanks for popping in. We're going to go around the hand a little bit. And then I'm going to come in here and just brush a few from the bottom. I feel like I need one right there. Just eyeball where you feel like you need to have some strands of hair to make it look really good. There's not a lot of hair on this one, so you don't have to worry too much about it. There's just a little bit. So E27 is the color that I'm going to use next. And I'm going to try to go in between the areas where I put the other color. Do I have a... There we go. I had something on the tip of my marker I had to wipe off. So I'm just going to brush in a few strokes in the white area, leaving a little bit of white area left for the last marker. The last marker is going to be significantly lighter. I want this underside to be darker. And then I'm going to leave enough of it so you'll be able to see, but it will definitely look like highlights. So definitely around the edge, and then extending down just like we did earlier. Kind of going in between the really dark color will help keep that definition. And then that just leaves me a little bit for the last color. Good night, Susie. E23. It's a big jump from 27, but I think we'll be all right. So I'm just going to wipe this marker over the white areas. I'm not going to blend them out. I don't usually blend when I'm doing hair, because I want you to be able to see all those strands of hair that are in there. I don't want to wash them out. So just the white areas, using really light pressure. We'll get those colors in there for you. I think we need a little bit more right up here where the dark area is. And there we go. Now we have this cute little brown hair on our little pink unicorn. Now hold that up so you can really see. So you can see it's very detailed for this little guy. And then I'm going to use that same color that I used for the highlights, the E23, just to put a teeny bit of brown in the eye. So on this side, it'll probably cover most of that white because you can't see the full view of the eye. And then on this side, I'm going to do just a small little line. I like to have a little bit of color in the eyes, but it doesn't have to be a lot. There we go. So just a teeny bit, just enough for you to really see it. It looks like I got it darker on the right side, so I'm just going to add a tad bit more on the left. And there we go. Adorable. Hey, Brian. Welcome, welcome. All right, now we're going to move on to the two other colors we have are blue and purple. So we have a teal blue and a bright, kind of like a bright purple. So I think we're going to do the rest with that color. I want the box to be in the teal color. And then the rest of the accents will mix with yellow and the purple. So I'm pulling out the 3 yellow colors we used, Y15, Y13, and Y11 that we used earlier. I'm just not going to use the Y26 again. I just wanted that to give a little bit of the golden look to it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the big part of the box, which is going to be this blue color, and I'm going to start with B06. This is the inside of the box, so I'm pretty much going to color most of the inside of the box in this B06. Just because it's the inside, there's not really a lot of shadow inside the box, especially with the cute little unicorn sitting in there. So I just did the inside of the box in the blue. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a line on this side and this side of the ribbon. I want it to look like there's a shadow on both sides of the ribbon. And you can make those however skinny or long you want. I'm also going to go up underneath that little horn. And I think I'm just going to finish everything back here in this dark color as well, because it's all shadowed by the hair and the horn and the hooves and all the good things. Now I'm going to do a very fine line on each edge as well, because the roundness, or it's not really a round box, but the edge of the box would be having a bit of shadow on there. Since the light's coming this way, I'm going to put my shadow on this line on the right hand side. Just like that. So that gets my dark color in there. While I'm doing that, I might as well put a little bit up here in the hat. So I'm going to do every other one, but I'm going to do it from the back side. So there's the back side of the darkest color like that. And then I'm going to grab B04 is my next color. And I only have one more color, so we're going to do quite a bit with this one. So we're going to come in a bit from this side. And I'm using the side of my marker so I cover a little bit more space underneath the hoof. And then we're also going to do just a little bit this way. It kind of leaves like just a straight line for us to put the highlight in on each panel of this box. So along the bottom won't be filled in. Oh, you can't be doing that. That's shining right in my face. No, move it. It shadows the entire picture. Thank you. Dale's crafting as well, but he's moving my lights around. And then across the top, of course, because the unicorn's face would be in the way. And then along the bottom here. And I'm just doing each one kind of the same. This one back here is going to be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to do a little bit here. But then when I come from this side, I'm going to come in a lot further. So I'm just going to leave a very tiny area for the white in the back, because it'll stay pretty dark. Then I'm going to come up here on the little hat, and I'm going to put a little bit of this color on each side. This top part's so small that if you color it all in, it's fine. Don't stress about it. You like it? So cute. Thank you, Sandy. I did get my order, but haven't took my pics yet. I did get the purple little cutie collectible. Oh, yay! Perfect. BO2 is next. If you get a package from us, you might want to make sure you look for the little cuties that might be in there, because sometimes they're small and people don't catch them in the bag. They don't know they're in there. So you don't want to miss out on that. Everybody should get something. So I'm going to leave a little bit of that highlighted in the center. So I'm kind of blending. This pattern's a little bit blended, a lot more than the hair, but I do still want you to be able to see that highlight. So I'm only going back over the line areas because I want to see highlight, but not harsh lines. So there we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. This is a fairly easy image to color, which is why I chose to do a little bit more involved project. That's why we're going to make like a mini gift bag and we're going to decorate it and all the good things. And then back here, we just have that very tiny spot and the one on the other side. And then I'm going to do up here, kind of pushing back into that dark color. There we go. All right, moving right along. Next, we have purple. So maybe we'll just make most of the rest of it purple, I guess. I thought I was going to bring back the yellow. Maybe I will in the hat. Let's put a little bit of yellow in the hat. Let's just do this top one in yellow. That was Y15. This is Y13. And then we're going to touch it with Y11. Kind of kiss it with Y11 right there on the edge. And then we'll make the other one purple. That way it's a pretty cool looking little hat. So I chose 3 purple colors. I chose V17, V15, and V12. Purple, yay! Okay, V12 first, because we always go with our darkest color first. I'm going to put it up here in the hat. And then for this thing right here, I'm going to go up from the bottom and then all the way up this side, down from where this is hanging over it. And then on this one, I'm going to go up from the bottom. I'm going to go all the way up the side, just like I did before. And then I'm going to come down from the top, but I'm only going to come down a little bit till I get over by this hoof. Then I'll go a little bit further. So on this little horn, I'm going to do this little horn in purple. So I'm going to do the whole mouthpiece of the horn in dark purple. And then over here, I'm just going to do this inside piece of the horn in this darkest purple. Whoops. Out of camera. All right, next we're going to use V15. We're going to start extending up from where we had that V12. This is going to turn it into a little bit more of a purpley pink, which will match nicely with our paper and with our unicorn. I am going over it a couple of times to soften those edges. And I went down the other side because we only have one more color left. So we want to get that all blended nicely. It's a ribbon, so it would probably be fairly smooth. Up the side. I'm going to come back down here and work this line a little bit. Then down from the top. Kind of work that line just a little bit all the way down. And then I'm going to come back, work that line again just to get that smooth. And then I'm going to work on this horn. And I'm going to do the underside and then that side. It leaves one little stripe for the lightest color. I add a little bit to the top of this hat, not too much because it's a small area. And then the lightest color, which is going to be V12, I'm going to do blend together. So I'm going to go back and forth like this to get a really good blend. Just back and forth. Then I'm going to stop. I'm going to go to this side, let that side dry. I'll work any extra areas if need be, but that one blended really nicely. This side might need a little bit of help right here, but I think the rest of that works out nicely. Now for this up here, I think I'm just going to add this color in there. I'm okay with it not blending perfectly on this horn because it'll show a little bit of texture there, and I kind of like that. And then up here, I am going to blend this to a smooth blend. So that gets my little hat done, my little unicorn. I'm going to put some white accent on that horn when we get to the white gel pen. But for now, this is our little cutie here. So sweet, right? Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Oops, I did it too many times. There we go. I'm going to zoom out because I want to talk about this little project that we're going to make. It's super easy. If you want to write down, I'm going to give you the measurements. So I'm going to give you just a second while I'm getting this stuff together for you to be able to get a little piece of paper if you want to write the measurements down, because we'll go over them step by step. Here is the paper that we chose. Look how good we got that blend with the paper. I'm going to zoom in just a tad bit for that. There we go. Now, there you go. That's the pink that we have. It matches that pink up there on the paper really well. And the yellow kind of pulls out as well. So this is the paper that I chose, and I'll go over the sizes. I cut those in a minute. What you want to start with is a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I started with 12 by 12 in this pink color. You know, basically because our unicorn is pink, but you're going to cut this 12 by 12 paper to 11 3/4. So the whole 12 by 12 piece, cut one side 11 3/4, and then rotate it and cut 6 inches. So you should have 2. You should be able to make 2 out of every 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So now we have this one piece we're going to work with right now, which is 11 3/4 this way and 6 inches this way. Now, the next part we have to do is some scoring. Oh, and my white gel pens came too. Oh, yay! Very nice, Barbara. So we're going to do some scoring here on this because the scoring is the most important part. So this is the 11 3/4 side. So you can see I'm at exactly 11 3/4 over here. I'm going to grab my little score tool here, and we're going to score it in 4 places. So we're going to start at 1 1/4 right here. And then we're going to go to 5 1/4. Then we're going to go to 6 1/2, and then 10 1/2. So those lines again are 1 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 1/2, and 10 1/2. Okay. Then we're going to turn. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Tamara. Then we're going to turn it on what I call the short side. So this was the long side because it's the longest side of the paper. This is the short side. And now we're going to score it in 2 places. So we're going to score at a 1/2 inch which is way over here, really small area on this side, 1/2 inch. And then we're going to score it at 4 3/4. Oops, I hate when I do that. So 1/2 inch and 4 3/4. So now we have a small score line at the top, a 1 1/2 inch score line at the bottom, and 4 of them across the paper. So that should get us, I got a little bit off right here. I hate when I do that, but it doesn't matter because we're going to put pattern paper over that, so you'll never notice it. The only ones that know I made a little boo-boo is you guys, because you're watching me. Just don't make my boo-boo. Learn from my mistake. So now we have this paper right here with that small sliver of border at the top. And then we have the larger one at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on every one of these score lines with my scissors. On the bigger side, not on the little side. So I'm going to cut here up to the score line. I'm going to cut here up to the score line. And here up to the score line. And here up to the score line, if I can get it lined up. There we go. All right. Now, on your left-hand side, so this little square right here, we're going to cut this square off. This one. So I'm going to cut that square off. So that it looks like that. I kind of was off a little on my cut, so I'm going to fix that. I didn't cut straight. It happens. Okay, there we go. So now we have this little square cut out. All right, we're good on that. Now we're done cutting and we're done scoring. So now we have to burnish everything. I'm going to throw this little square away because I don't need it, or put it in my stash. Now, this top part right here, this choice is up to you. You could do this in pattern paper, but I really wanted to use that pattern paper, so I didn't use pattern paper. But if you use pattern paper, use it with a design on the front and a different design on the back. Because when you fold this over, you'll have a design here and a different design here. But mine's all the same. So I'm going to make my fold go the opposite way so I don't have that lip at the top of my paper. But I wanted to put it in there because it reinforces the top of the bag so that you don't have any tears at the top of your bag. So I'm going to burnish that real quick. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to glue it down. So I'm just going to glue that down so it's a solid line on there. So I'm just going to use my Barely Art glue. You could use score tape if that floats your boat, whatever you like. But Barely Art holds it firm and concrete, so I'm good with just using Barely Art glue. Now, I'm going to press this down. It doesn't always stay the first time you press it, so I use this soda press tool, and I'm just going to run it across that line. What that does is spread the glue out and give it a really good grip. I'm going to go all the way down to the edge, just like that. So now we have this very nice, solid, firm line here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is fold on the score line. So I'm going to start on the side that has the cutout. And I'm going to fold this over, and then I'm going to burnish it. When you get to the top, you got to burnish that a little bit. It's a little bit tougher because you double layered the paper, but it's okay. Just be patient with it. I'm going to keep the folds going in the same direction. I'm now going to fold this one. And then I'm going to fold this one, all going in the same direction. Only thing you want to do is just make sure that it stays flush. Don't let it get off like this. Keep it straight when you burnish it. So I usually use my hands to hold that, and then I burnish like this. That way I don't get anything crooked. All right. So we started here, we folded here, 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 and now we have one more, which is this one. And I'm going to burnish that one. So now the whole thing folds in towards itself. So we're almost there. We just have to build our bottom, but we're almost there. This line across the bottom also needs to be folded in towards the same way that you did this top lip. Unless you want that pattern paper to see on the outside, then you'd fold it the other way. But you know what I mean, because I explained that earlier. I'm folding this up. We don't have anything on this one because we cut it off. And now we have each one of these panels, and these are going to be what we use to adhere the whole box together. But at this point, we don't want to do that yet. Once you get to this point, flip it over, because this is the inside, this is the outside, and now we're going to decorate the outside. When you put the whole box together, it's not really going to necessarily matter which way, which part side of the box is the front. So just choose it while you're laying down. I'm going to choose that this will be the back of the box with the open square. This will be the front. So you have to cut your pattern paper in order to fit in each one of these places. You need 2 pieces of pattern paper that measure 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. I'm sorry, by 4 1/4. So 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. Oh, did I do it too big? Haha. Yes, I did. I'm slightly, wait a minute. Nope, I am slightly too big. I apologize for that. Let me trim that and I'll give you the new size. I think I wasn't estimating folding over the edge, and I want that yellow to stay in there. So this is my, this is my 4 1/4. I want that to be 4. So I apologize. You want 3 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to have to trim every single one of these to be 4. I did it slightly off, but that's what happens. You know, we're not all perfect, and we all make mistakes. And this is how we learn together with our friends, which makes it fun. There we go. So let me rephrase that. This is going to be 3 3/4 by 4. So it's going to fit perfectly in this little square right here. So it needs to be 4 inches long and 3 3/4 inches this way. And I have 2 of those. One's on the front and one's on the back. Then you need 2 more smaller ones, 2 more smaller pieces that are measuring at 1 inch wide by 4 inches long. So same exact height as this paper, but only 1 inch wide. And you only need 2, even though you have 3 pieces here, because one of these pieces is going to overlap over here. So you don't need anything on the piece that's going to overlap. So on the piece that's cut out, that's where this one will go. And then the one in the center is where this one will go. I want to flip it up there. I want the colors to go the same way. And then these 2 I'm going to put back on here. So see, you can see the pattern of the paper kind of flowing evenly. I really like that. So I wanted to, it's not perfect, but it's close enough. All mountain folds. Yes, ma'am. All mountain folds. Pen and paper can be a challenge for me. I usually don't have a problem, but I think I measured it when I had that little 1/2 inch sticking out instead of measuring it after I folded it. And that's why I ended up with a different size. So now I'm going to adhere these squares to my box. And you can do this after you put the box together, but why? That just makes it so much harder. So I want to do it right now so it's easier. So I'm going to place this one. You're just going to center it within all those three score lines, top, the sides, and the bottom. And just center it in there. I'm going to use my press tool again to spread that glue out and get a really good adhesion. Then I'm just going to move down the box. I mean, you could use that side. That'd be pretty cool too, but I'm dedicated to this now, so we're just going to stick with this. Then I'm going to place this one within the 3 score lines of that end. And I do try to pay attention to this one to make sure they all kind of go exactly the same. But I am eyeballing it, so, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to press that with my soda press. And then repeat for this one. Right here within these fold lines, center it in there. Also pay attention to the edges here to make sure you get it lined up just right. If you're worried about the paper moving, you can certainly flip it over and do this pressing from this side so you don't move the paper. But I'm pretty used to it, so I don't generally have any problems with that. This one's the last one, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one to the end. Remember, it's the end where we cut off the little square piece. So I'm going to center that in there, nice and pretty. Kind of trying to keep that pretty close and that pretty close. Might not be perfect, but it's good enough. There we go. All right, now I'm going to slide over here and I'm going to use this panel as the front of my box. So I'm going to start designing the front of my box. So I definitely want my little unicorn here on the front. So cute. And then I think I want to have a magical birthday. This is part of our ephemera pack. And then I'll put a little bit of bling on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one. There we go. So I'm going to place that right here on my front cover, my front panel. I'm going to flip it over and get it burnished really good. I don't want to move around my little guy. And then this have a magical birthday right here. I'm going to put this kind of sideways up there. You could pop these up if you wanted. It's up to you. I'm not really going to pop this time. I might pop one of the balloons. No, I'm probably just going to put them all flat on this just because it's a bag and I don't really need to. This is the back side of the bag, and you could leave it plain, but I didn't want to. I wanted to add a few extra little things to it. So I decided that what I would do is I would add a couple of presents to the back, so it'll even be cute if you're looking at the back. I think I'm going to place them like this. And the presents match so nicely with his present, and it's just kind of perfect. I need to put some more glue in my glue. So I'm going to put this one maybe up a little bit. And then we'll take this one and I'll put that one down a little bit so they look like they're sitting in front of each other. I'm going to use my press tool to press that down for a second. Make sure that stays. And then I have this Le Pen. It's alcohol-based ink, so I can use it with my Copics, even though I don't really need to right now. But I have these two little balloons, and I want to put them like they're kind of hanging, so I need to do the little squigglies myself. So I'm not going to be real picky at it. Shelly says, Beth, I have pattern paper, have lots of it, but I always use it. I'm all about clean and simple and love white space, but was trying to use pattern paper. I usually turn to a sketch. Oh, yeah, I love pattern paper. I'm trying to get my stuff set up for later, Drea. Oh, hey, Ellen. Welcome, welcome, Ellen and Drea. Ellen, are you having fun? I still need to order the Le Pen. And my niece loves the new release. Yay! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pen design behind the balloons. So I'm just going to squiggle down like this. And then I'm going to do another one kind of going like that. I'm going to do a little squiggle from the top just so we have like this one will go that way. This one will go this way. I may have to make the lines a little bit more, but hold on. Let me put this one down so I can decide what I want to do. But really your lines can be however you want. Just make them squiggly and just stick them on there. This is a permanent marker, so it's not going to bleed on my paper. There we go. I think I want this one to be down a little bit further, like this. So it'll still work perfectly with that. I'll just turn the balloon a little bit. I'm going to use my tweezers to hold it still so I know where to place it. And I'm going to put some glue on here. And I think I'll place this one maybe a little higher. Higher might be better because it goes with my little squiggly lines. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection is not the point. I do want to put a couple of sentiments on the back. I thought I would say surprise and celebrate. Maybe I'll put the surprise right here, and then I'll say celebrate right here. And it's just a couple of extra because I don't really want to put any bling on the back. So this just kind of fills in just a little bit more. And since I already had these sentiments cut out, I thought, why not use them? We'll take the celebrate and we'll add it here. So it's kind of like the balloons are hanging off the sign, which is super cute. Now I'm going to grab my bling holder. I think I am going to go with the pink ones, the pink bling. So I usually just put my little dots on there. And then I use my pickup tool to pick up the ones that I want and then place them on top of the glue. We sell these in our shop, but they don't have sticky on them, and I like them better that way. I like to put my own sticky because sometimes you have to put, I need a little bit more glue under that one because sometimes the stickers don't work anyway when they're sticky on the back. So I prefer to just put my own sticky on there. I like them that way, so that's the way we make them here. Oh, there we go. Once I have them on there and I like where they are, I take my press tool and I just press them down for a second. If the glue comes out around them, you don't have to worry about it. It dries clear. It won't cause any problem. It won't make the gems cloudy. It'll all dry clear and everything will be fine. So you won't have to worry about that. Now we have all of our stuff on the on the outside, I'm going to go ahead and do the white gel pen, but I'm going to have to be careful not to touch it. So I'm going to add a little bit of the white gel pen in the eyes so they'll stand out a little better. I'm going to put just a tad bit right at the top of the hooves. And I might do a little bit on the unicorn horn just to accent that just a little bit more. I kind of like it that way. I don't use a lot of gel pen. I'm envious of those that do. Maybe in time I will use a little bit more, but for now I get a little nervous using it, so I don't use it a whole lot. So the first thing I want to do is adhere the sides. I'm going to adhere the side first. I want to make sure the top stays flush with the bottom. So I'm going to add the glue here on this panel. Just like that. Once you have it, you could just lay it flat and do it if you wanted to, or you could do it the other way. Whatever works best for you. This helps me press it down, or you could stick something inside and press it like some people do, like with a bone folder, and press it down like that. That's just easier for me to lay it flat. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the bottom of the box first. So I'm going to put the two sides in and I'm going to put glue on the side panels. And then I'm going to lay one side over. I'm not going to worry about pressing that together. We'll do that at the end. I'm going to put the glue on this side. And then I'm going to lay this side over. It makes a complete square. Nothing's hanging over. Nothing looks funny. I'm going to flip it over like this. And then I'm going to stick my little, I have a small glue bottle so it fits in there. Use whatever you have. And I'm going to press down with my glue to get a really good adherence on that bottom. And then you have the cutest little gift bag. You can just put anything you want inside of there, like little candies will fit in there. You put a little bag of candy in there. I already ate half my candy. What can I say? It also works at like retreats where you can put markers in there to hold while they're sitting on your desk. Or you can put gifts in there. So you can, you can, whatever your mind goes to, if you want, you could punch holes right here and make a little handle. There's so many things, but for now, for me, this is just a quick and easy little gift bag / box that I use if I have a very small gift, if I have a gift card or some lotion, or, you give glue or spray or whatever you might want to put in your box, you can put it in there. But it's super easy to make. You get 2 out of each 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And it's just adorable. You can decorate it however you want. These are also great for party gift favors where you can just put a little something in there to say thank you. So I hope you guys like that. I hope you'll try it. Check it out. The back even looks super cute. You can decorate it. You could even put people's names on it or whatever you want. It's just an idea I thought would be a lot of fun. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments of this video. After the video, I will add the Copic markers that were used so you know, and you can do them yourself. And if you miss the measurements, you can watch the replay and it'll tell you. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because it's super helpful for you to know when we go live. All our videos have moved now from Facebook to YouTube. And And then the last thing I guess I have to say is if you really enjoy watching crafting, or if you craft late at night, come and join us over at Happy Crafty Ho Ho. We do crafting every night over there on that channel, and that's where you can find me when I'm not here. So thank you for joining me. If you'd like to see my if you don't know us that well, it's me and my husband run the company, and he was crafting while we were crafting. So here's my magical birthday, and here's his pure magic design. So he did the moon on fire with the phoenix, and there you go. And did you use pencils on that, honey?
For the flames.
He did pencils for the flames and on the moon, and he did oxides for the other part. So this is his project. It's not made into his card yet, but it's super duper adorable, and maybe I'll just frame it. But how cute is that? Oh my goodness. And then this is the project we made tonight. Oh, you didn't put your sentiment on there yet. So there you go. That is our project for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Good night, everybody. See you on Thursday, 8 Central.